Welcome in on this Wednesday night to another episode of A to Z Sports Prime Time. It is so good to have you guys in for another episode. Thanks for hanging. We have a lot of things to talk about, in particular, a visit that the Titans are making with a wide receiver that's got connections to Brian Callahan, the head coach. We'll talk about what it potentially means for Treylon Burks, and we got a little rising and falling for you guys, as is the custom at the end of the show. We have all kinds of things to talk about because Brian Callahan's been making the rounds. So has Rand Carthon to an extent, or at least, by making the rounds, I mean they've been appearing on my radio station on a regular basis, or the radio station that I'm on a regular basis, and giving various quotes about the draft class, the players that they put together in conjunction with free agency, and how all of these things are going to work together, plus players that they already have on the roster that are trying to potentially, maybe, possibly be salvaged from the John Robinson / Mike Vrabel era, or they could be very content to move on from these guys in the very near future. So we're going to suss through this at the wide receiver position together and break it all down. You'll hear from Brian Callahan in particular. He made an appearance on 3HL earlier this week, and it'll be a great time. We've got a lot of fun things to get to. Something that is, before I ask you guys to share that, I'm going to skip the whole share the show thing. You guys know at this point, it's been 5 years. If you don't know how to share the show at this point, I don't know what to do with you, all right? You retweet it on Twitter, you share it on Facebook, you like the video on YouTube, you subscribe to the channel on Twitch. Okay, I've done my spiel. What I'm going to start the show with tonight and tomorrow night is a reminder to you. The live show is on Friday. I was texting Rand Carthon today about it. And I said we were walking through a variety of different, things that we're going to do at the live show on Thursday. I was texting Greg Cosell today. We had a walkthrough. Awesome setup at the venue. It's going to be excellent. And we're adding some new things for those of you who were in attendance last year. It's going to be sick. But the thing that I want to remind you guys, and I'm going to remind Bert to grab that link from the chat. In fact, I have the link. That's an easier way for me to do this. If you want to ask Rand Carthon a question on Friday, I told you guys this last night, and some of you guys were kind enough to donate. And I've made a list of the people who have donated who get to go to the front of the line to ask their questions. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you because we're raising money for cancer research. I'm a little disappointed that only 2 of you donated, which is why I'm going to offer you the opportunity to do it one more time. Vernon Sanford and Matthew Fortner are excluded from this because they are the first people that are going to get to ask Rand Carthon questions unless you donate $500, and then I'll jump into the front of the line. But with this being said, if you donate to the LLS cause that I am going to drop into the link here as we raise money for blood cancer research and try and help find cures and various therapies to help treat people who are dealing with leukemia and lymphoma and all different types of issues related to blood cancer, because this is a charitable event on Friday at the live show. If you donate to the cause, I'll jump you to the front of the line to ask Rand Carthon and Greg Cosell questions on Friday night. But you gotta hit that link, okay? Like I said, Vernon Sanford, Matthew Fortner, they get a pass. They get to go to the front of the line, and I was walking through the setup to ask questions today. You're even going to get to be on camera. You're going to be a part of the show on Friday night. We've got a very special setup for you, and hopefully nobody gets in my way and ruins all the aesthetics that I've set up for Friday night. I'm sure everything will go exactly to plan. But if you want to be at the front of the line on Friday to ask the Titans GM a question about your new Titans draft class, you can do that with the link that we have dropped in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It can be questions about Calvin Ridley, J.C. Latham, L'Jarius Sneed, all the new Titans players, because we're going to be talking about all of them and breaking all of them down at the live show on Friday. All right, it's a great cause. We are going to directly affect some people. There is going to be good work done from the money that we raise, and I can't wait to raise some more money with you. So hit that link, and we'll go ahead and start this show. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time from the Zen Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising, and I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by the wonderful people at Two Rivers Ford. They're also the presenting sponsor of the live show with Rand Carthon and Greg Cosell, the South's most trusted Ford dealer Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. TrueMav Fitness, before the live show on Friday, I'm going to go to TrueMav Fitness. I'm going to get my workout in early Friday morning, and I'm going to be a better person for it. Your first workout is free at TrueMavFitness.com. And Zen Sports. Download the app, plug in the promo code ATOZTN, and get in on all the action. Great offers and odds boosts available for you in the Zen Sports app. Your wide receiver room right now is in a bit of a flux, right? We are looking at Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins as the true, clear, and obvious proven commodities at the top of the depth chart, and you feel really good about that. You feel as good about that. Man, I would make the argument that it's the best wide receiver tandem, the most talented wide receiver tandem that the damn Tennessee Titans have ever had, now that I think about it. We had Derek Mason on the 615 sessions a couple of weeks ago, and I always like to give D-May shit, not just because it makes me happy to mess with him, even though he is somebody whose career is very, very impressive and somebody who has accomplished many, many things in the NFL that I could ever dream of accomplishing. It's fun for me to still be able to give him shit at this point in his life. And I'm convinced that he's going to die as the greatest Titans and Ravens wide receiver of all time, because neither of those franchises seem interested in breaking his single season records for them. So looking at all the different things that the Titans have worked through, as you talk about the wide receiver combination, this may well be the best Titans wide receiver duo that's ever walked the face of the earth in 25 years, I guess 26 years now, of Titans era football. So we're going to dive into that and talk about the idea of, well, there's still wide receivers making visits to the Titans organization this week. As a matter of fact, there is one in transit right now to potentially join the cause here that Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon are trying to achieve. So we'll get into that together. I'm going to ask you your Two Rivers Ford take on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. In the comment section, let me know how you feel about the current group of wide receivers. The question is, fair or foul, the Titans signing Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd, the former Bengals wide receiver, who, of course, has connections to Brian Callahan. We're going to talk about this together. Fair or foul? Let me know how you feel about this particular situation. So this was first reported by Jeremy Fowler, who said that Tyler Boyd has been taking visits. And of course, we're in the post-draft free agency at this point, looking around and seeing all the different places that players need to fill in now that teams have used their draft picks for the year on these respective players and, filled out their tackle room, but maybe a little light in the wide receiver department. Added an edge rusher, but still may need a safety or an off-ball linebacker. And so now we're starting to get into the opportunity for some vets to cash in the second and third waves of free agency. And Tyler Boyd is one of them. He's a free agent right now. He was in Los Angeles earlier this week to meet with the Chargers. So the Chargers have already done a lot of things that I think a lot of Titans fans would have liked to have done, whether that be Joe Alt, Junior Colson, and now visiting with Tyler Boyd. He is heading to Tennessee later this week, per source. This is courtesy of Jeremy Fowler. The market is expected to heat up for the veteran, who is in his 30s, 513 catches, 6,000 yards over the course of 8 years. It's crazy to think that Tyler Boyd has been in Cincinnati for 8 years, but still, he is a player who has been consistently productive to a certain level in a system that now is going to be run in Tennessee. So fair or foul is the question. The question, of course, is your Two Rivers Ford take, and it's presented by Two Rivers Ford. The South's most trusted Ford dealer is Two Rivers Ford, where they always sell their new non-specialty Fords below MSRP, and they have been in business here in Middle Tennessee for over 40 years. Nobody does it like Two Rivers Ford does, with quality American-made Ford vehicles and award-winning customer service. Go to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. I got through that all while getting ready to sneeze potentially. I can't decide whether it makes sense to look at the lights and try to get the sneeze out of the way, or if I can just power through it. We'll try to power through. Bear with me. fair or foul, the signing of Tyler Boyd. So here's what the Titans wide receiver room looks like right now. We're not going to count the UDFAs, although but to my knowledge, I don't think they've signed a UDFA wide receiver that I've seen reported, but I'll double check that list just for the sake of ease, though, until the UDFAs are official. We will look at the current Titans who are under contract for the the current wide receivers who are under contract for the Tennessee Titans at this point. They include DeAndre Hopkins. You have Calvin Ridley, of course, who was signed to that new deal. You have Mason Kinsey and NWI who continue to keep roster spots or practice squad spots here. You have Colton Dowell, who was drafted in the 7th round last year. And you also have Keiris Jackson, who ended the year with injury, but may have some return ability. You add to that Jaquan Jackson, who is the 6th round pick this year. He figures to be in position to compete for spots right out of the gate, whether that's as the starting slot receiver or whether he's able to get on the field first and foremost as a returner and then earn additional opportunities in the offense that way. Then there's Treylon Burks, who's not the forgotten man in all of this, Treylon Burks and Kyle Phillips, but they are getting easier to forget about. And if they sign Tyler Boyd, that would obviously have ripple effects on those two. So given that that's the way that your current Titans wide receiver room looks, how do you feel about the Titans, how do you feel about the Titans' depth right now? And is it fair or foul to bring in Tyler Boyd? He's going to make a visit, so either way, I feel like it's going to be something that Titans fans are curious about, but I don't know how many of you are in on signing him. Rashid says, foul, we don't need him. And after I've just listed you the Titans' depth chart, Terry Anderson says fair, as does Corey Smith, Chris Frazier, Josh Sabata, and several others. Cody Farrell says he'd prefer to go after Zay Jones, who was cut from the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier this week, rather. Other than familiarity, he's no better than Burks or NWI. Talking about Tyler Boyd. Well, he is better than Burks because he is familiar. He is better than Burks because he is available. Those are two qualities that are considerably important, and that if you're better than Treylon Burks in that department, then you should probably be in consideration for a roster spot. Zay Jones is not any better than Tyler Boyd is. There's not an appreciable difference in the talent of the players. NWI is probably the best option out of the bunch of them because he's available. He already has a rapport built with the quarterback. How he fits in the new system remains to be seen, but Tyler Boyd should have a little bit of an edge over him because of that familiarity of system if Brian Callahan is going to try and implement something similar to what he ran in Cincinnati and try to continue to accumulate personnel that allows him to run whatever version of his system he's going to bring from Cincinnati to Tennessee, because it's not going to look exactly the same because the Titans don't have Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. Byron Charles says fair. Karen O'Keefe says fair. Clayton Smith says absolutely fair. Don't let him leave without a deal. I don't see many people arguing against him other than Rashid Jenkins, who just continues to jump into the comments multiple times and say foul. Jonathan Caverly says foul, spend it elsewhere. So your cap space, your available cap space, or rather, your available cap space is 30.8, just about. So let's just say ballpark 30 mil. Your effective cap space, because the 30 mil does not account for rookies who have not agreed to deals yet. Your effective cap space, let's call it between 25 and 26, closer to 25 than it is 26. So let's say $25 million for all intents and purposes. How much Tyler Boyd is going to make on the open market is going to be interesting because the wide receiver market is at an all-time high, but not necessarily for a guy like Tyler Boyd. Now, I'm going to see if SpotTrack has any kind of market value on him. Right now, they have him projected at age, how old is he? He's 29. He's going to be 30 this year, born in 1994. So he's going to be my age. 2 years, $15.85 million is the projected market value for Tyler Boyd. Remember that SpotTrack is just an estimation. It's like Zillow. You don't have to take it as gospel. You shouldn't take it as gospel. But they're saying an average salary of about 7.9. So let's call it $8 million a year for Tyler Boyd. Would you rather pay $8 million a year for Tyler Boyd or try and make it work with Treylon Burks? Because Treylon Burks a hell of a lot cheaper than that. NWI, a hell of a lot cheaper than that. If it adds additional security to your wide receiver room, then maybe you don't give any thought to it. But that is, not a small chunk, and you can structure the cap hit if it's a multi-year deal in a couple of different ways. But it takes a fair amount of money out of your $25 million that you have to spend. He is 29 years old at this point and will be 30. 30 is kind of the tipping point for a lot of wide receivers, and he's not the most athletically gifted, but he is a reliable player who has shown that he can play with multiple quarterbacks and work within the system, has a good knowledge of the system. Yusuf wants to know how old I am. I'm going to be 31 in July. I'm getting old. I'm getting old fast. I've got gray hairs in my sideburns. I'm getting all salt and pepper. It's a tough scene. I went and had Botox today, courtesy of my friends at Canvas Skin. They got me right because I got a live show, and you see those wrinkles in my forehead. They're going to be gone by Friday. This shit's going to look like an ice rink by the time the wonderful ladies at Canvas Skin are done with me. They gave me all kinds of great products to be able to use. Their face wash is excellent. Can't wait to get into that. I love a good skincare routine. As a matter of fact, not enough guys care about their skin that way. I feel like you should, because a lot of you are aging poorly, and the best way to avoid that is to make sure that you're taking care of your skin. So shout out to Brotox/Botox and Candler Pope, who is the wonderful woman who at 8 a.m. stuck my face full of a bunch of needles at Canvas Skin. We appreciate them. No free ads. So looking at the wide receiver room, I don't know how we got from wide receivers to Botox, but even still, yes, 31. Tough scene. It's Matt says, voice sounds like you're in your 50s. Yes, that's age. Karen Davis says, you doing Botox again? Baby, I never stopped. I don't stop doing Botox. I go probably every 4 months, every 5 months. During football season, maybe I don't have a chance to get out to Canvas because it's in Brentwood. It's not too far out of my way, but I live downtown, so I don't really venture much outside of the downtown footprint. Either way, yeah, we go about every 4 months. EA Domino, or I always butcher EA's last name. I'm sorry. I said I'd stop doing that, but I haven't after 5 years. I swear, EA. We need to tighten up in the wide receiver room. Botox for the wide receiver room. Absolutely. That is indeed the case. You need to tighten up this wide receiver room. Like my forehead is going to get tightened up by the time you see me on stage on Friday. It's going to be gravy, baby. But looking at the Fatty Matty says the quickest way to wrinkles is to never win Big Ten championships, Buck. Boiler the F up. You're still my favorite Hoosier, though. That's very hurtful, Fatty, but I appreciate you. Thank you for rubbing my nose in it, and I hope you enjoyed that loss in the national championship to UConn earlier this year. Tough scene. We won exactly as many championships together, Purdue and Indiana. Tough scene. Karen Davis says, what a diva. Yeah, no shit, Karen. You new to the show? This is that's not new at all. I like pedicures. I like Botox. I like all of it. I like taking care of myself. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. More guys should. Anyway, we're talking wide receivers. Wide receivers, Botox need to tighten up. So looking at this particular situation, I think that Tyler Boyd, the signing of Tyler Boyd, the pursuit of Tyler Boyd, if they do in fact choose to pursue him, is fair price dependent. Like I said, you have money, but you don't have to spend all of the money all at once. And if you think Treylon Burks is salvageable, and not just salvageable, like you think you can do something with Treylon Burks this year, then I don't think that you need Tyler Boyd. Now, that comes from, and we're going to talk about Treylon here in a second, I am not a Treylon Burks believer. There has been no reason for me to believe her. It sounds like a Cheaters episode. There's been no reason for me to believe her. There has been no reason to believe in Treylon Burks for me to date. And, unfortunately for him, that's more a product of his health than anything else. And I do not begrudge him his health, other than to say that I don't factor him in legitimately to my analysis because he has yet to contribute anything meaningful on the field. So with that being said, let's transition and talk about Treylon Burks. The question that I'm going to ask you guys here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch is this. As you look at Treylon Burks in particular, Are you buying or selling his stock this year? Actually, before we talk about Treylon Burks, I want you to hear from Rand Carthon on Jaquan Jackson, who is going to come in and contribute to this roster, I think, right away. This is important to consider when you're talking about Tyler Boyd, because it's not just about Treylon Burks. It's also about the player that they had in the 6th round.
I think he's a guy that he's a dual returner. I think he can kick return. I think he can punt return. And he has an element that he can bring to the offense. So he was a complete guy for us. And it just made sense, especially with, this new kickoff rule that we're all trying to figure out, and it's essentially the first play of offense, the way it's going to be run. And so you need a guy that has, run the day-like skill set that can, make something out of nothing in short space.
So that's Rand Carthon speaking about Treylon Burks, about Jaquan Jackson on Saturday after the Titans completed their 2024 draft class. A to Z Sports Prime Time is presented by TrueMath Fitness in the Gulch. It's the best place to work out in Middle Tennessee. I can promise you that. TrueMath Fitness is where you go to get in on that incredible workout. They have different programming throughout the course of the week, focusing on different parts of your body, different skill sets, different fitness levels, but they are there to accommodate any level of physical fitness because they are there to help you improve. So whether that's group fitness classes, personal training, a membership so you can get up to speed at your own speed and capitalize on their top-notch facility, TrueMathFitness.com in the Gulch in downtown Nashville is where you can find them. That first workout free is at TrueMathFitness.com if you so choose. So the question becomes, you heard Rand Carthon there talking about Jaquan Jackson. Are you buying or selling Treylon Burks stock? Fatty says Burks has an uphill battle. I don't think he has it in him. I hope I'm wrong. So Fatty is selling his Treylon Burks stock, and whatever Fatty's selling, I just like saying Fatty. Josh Sabata is buying. He's at an all-time low, and I think he can only go up in potential. Well, as the Titans left tackle situation has taught us year over year, things can always get worse. So you don't want to say that he's at an all-time low and then something else happened to him. God forbid. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, professional athletes don't need my pity, right? Treylon Burks does not need my pity, all right? He doesn't need you to feel sorry for him. He doesn't need me to feel sorry for him. He doesn't need anybody to feel sorry for him. He needs to go out there, work, produce, and find ways to be a good football player. But there's a part of me that can't help but feel a little bad for the guy. I do genuinely feel bad for Treylon Burks because he's in a really tough situation, and it was tough from the get-go. I pity him because of the A.J. Brown thing that he will never be able to escape here as long as he is playing in a Tennessee Titans uniform, which is why I am led to believe that at a certain point, maybe Treylon Burks' career is just best served elsewhere where he doesn't have to deal with all that bullshit. Now, the thing that would help him deal with all that bullshit is if he can get healthy, get out on the field, and make plays on a consistent basis, more than one big catch against the Chargers that did help them win the game. But again, it's one catch, right? You can count on one hand the number of difference-making plays Treylon Burks has made in 2 years. It's unacceptable at this point for the investment that they made and, more importantly, the player that they gave up. Now, I know you're sick and tired of hearing about the A.J. Brown trade. But until it stops having ripple effects on your organization, it's tough to kind of get out from under that shadow. And that is the shadow that Treylon Burks perpetually lives in, which is why I'm selling Treylon Burks stock. I'm down on Treylon Burks in 2024. I just don't think that it's fixable because it's not just that he's not healthy. It's not just the idea. It's not the asthma. It's not the weight. It's not, the physical conditioning. We're 3 years in, or we're coming up on year 3. He's about to start year 3. That kind of stuff is not what's weighing on me. It's that when he's out there, he doesn't seem to contribute much. Like, I don't know if he's just got to spend more time with Will Levis. Well, I do know he has to spend more time with Will Levis because he missed a bunch of time last year, and Levis got in while Treylon was missing a bunch of time, and those are critical reps that you want to try and capitalize on. So maybe with training camp and him staying available as much as humanly possible, this is something that can improve. But I am selling that Treylon Burks stock. It's already low. I've already lost any investment that I've made on Treylon Burks if I'm trading in Treylon Burks stock. I am selling Treylon Burks stock as fast as I can if I'm you, me, or anybody in between. And that's not something that's personal. Personally, I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he proves everybody who is doubting him or sleeping on him, or I don't think anybody's rooting against the guy. Certainly I'm not rooting against the guy, but I just think we are a bit too far gone at this point in time. And, Brian Callahan was on 3HL earlier in the week, I think on Monday, and he gave an answer about Treylon Burks that I think has a lot of Titans fans excited. But still, there's just something about his situation that makes me want to stay away. And we can run this tape back in, January if the Titans are on the verge of a playoff push and Treylon Burks has been a huge contributor and he's worked himself into the starting lineup or whatever. And you can make me eat it if you want to. But for the time being, I am selling my Treylon Burks stock. Before we let you hear from Brian Callahan on Treylon Burks, I'm going to remind you that the Primetime program is presented by the great people at Zen Sports. Now, Zen Sports has a new offer for you with that promo code ATOZTN that you see behind me. They are going to get you in on the incredible action on all your favorite major sports, and I'm going to tell you exactly how, because they sent me this email. They said you need to get this to your audience as soon as humanly possible. You need to rush to run to make sure that they get you, that you get them the necessary tools, the necessary odds boost, the necessary promotions to make sure that they can capitalize using that promo code ATOZTN. When you bet in the Zen Sports app, you sign up for your $100 no danger first wager. If your first bet loses, you'll be reimbursed for the amount of your bet up to $100. And there's even more good news. Zen Sports has the VIP program that's by invite only. So if you feel that your Zen Sports play qualifies for VIP consideration, you can check out the program details and apply at zensports.com/VIP. Zen Sports betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions do apply. No danger wager limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Boosted odds are derived from equivalent parlay bets offered in Tennessee. Must be 21 plus and in Tennessee to bet at zensports.com. Buying or selling Treylon Burks' stock? I'm selling all of it as fast as any of you will buy it from me, but that is not the position of new head coach Brian Callahan.
Coach,
yeah,
I am on board with this. I've been wearing this jersey since the season ended, leading up to the draft, and I will continue wearing it day in and day out because I'm Team Burks. Give me something good, man, that you're seeing out of my guy Treylon Burks, Coach. Come on,
I'm sorry, Coach.
You know what? That's a great question because he's really had a fantastic start to the offseason program. I've been happy with what he's done. I have no idea. I mean that. That's honest. He's done a great job of learning and getting a bunch of different things down, and I think he's really stacked a handful of really good days together as we started. And so I'm optimistic about him contributing for us, and I think he's gone about it the right way. So really, I got a lot of respect for how he started it off. So
you just made his day, Coach.
Yes! You have no idea what you're doing right now, Coach.
Yes! Burks in the slot.
He's going to do a little bit of everything. He's got some versatility for us, so he'll be able to do some stuff outside. And really, ultimately, it's my role and our coaching staff's role is to find a handful of things that he can really help us with and highlight those as much as possible. And so some of it might be in a slot, some of it might be outside, but I'm fired up, man. I think he's got a chance to help us.
Because everybody reads into everything you say about everybody. So when you didn't mention him as a slot guy, I mean, does he fit in there? Or is he outside?
Oh yeah, he can fit in there. That thing kind of got blown out a little bit of proportion, but yeah, he can fit inside. I was talking more about like slot only players, guys that are kind of just slots. Whereas Treylon's got some versatility to play everywhere. He can play outside, he can play inside. And so we just got to find what those things are for him. So I think he's got a chance to help us in a lot of different spots.
And stay healthy. Love it.
That's the key for everybody. That's all of us.
Yes, it is, Coach.
Yeah. Go to your meeting, Coach. Go to your meeting. Get out of here.
Go to your meeting. Slade is so full of shit. He's out of his mind. The idea, sick. You know how Treylon Burks had as many catches last year as the number that he wears. 16 damn catches. So Slay can be excited about it. Brian Callahan, Brian Callahan, of course he's going to be optimistic about it. It's Brian Callahan's job to come in here and fix this damn thing. And if he can fix it and make Treylon Burks a part of the fix, then you're cooking. But Slay's full of shit. There is no reason to have that level of optimism about Treylon Burks. There is absolutely none. Count it, zero. Evidence that Treylon Burks is going to be the kind of impact player to date that Ron Slay, for some reason, be he chemically enhanced or otherwise, has come up with in the deep, deep, dark recesses of that man's brain. It's nonsense to me. Now, again, we can pull this at the end of the year, and Slay, I will go on 3HL. You can make me eat my words, and I will even put on that Treylon Burks jersey. I've never worn a jersey in my life. I'll put the jersey on. I'll wear it for an entire radio show. If Treylon, we'll make a Bert, come on this camera as my witness. Come on this camera as my witness. What you don't want any part of this? You're waving me off. It's okay. You can tell me if there's.
No, I was saying, hell yeah, I'm all about you owning when you're wrong. That's
okay.
That's my favorite part of anything you're involved with is when you're wrong.
All right, so you as my witness, and I want you on camera so people can see you be my witness. If Treylon Burks breaks 1,000 yards, no, not 1,000 seems too high. 1,000 seems too high. I will set the bar if Treylon Burks breaks 800 yards receiving in 2024. I'll wear a Treylon Burks jersey for an entire radio show. I'll buy the damn thing. I'll give it away for charity afterwards, or I'll give it away on the radio show afterwards. I don't care. We'll auction it off for charity, whatever. It won't be a game-worn Treylon Burks jersey. It'll be a show-worn Treylon Burks jersey. But either way, if he breaks 800 yards receiving, I will wear that damn jersey for 3 hours a day, and I'll purchase it with my own damn money. Deal?
Deal.
All right, very good. Thank you for your contribution to today's show. So there, you have it on video. You can clip it and put it on the internet. In fact, screen record this, tweet Ron Slay, make sure he sees it, because I'm going to be held to account on this. If Treylon Burks breaks 800 yards receiving, I will buy a jersey. I will wear it on the show for 3 hours, and then I will give it away afterwards because I don't wear jerseys and I'm not a Titans fan. Anyway, Terry Anderson says, sounds like Buck is safe. I don't know. Show it to me, big fella. You know what I'm saying? Chef Rand says 500. No. He's a first-round damn pick, okay? First-round pick. Do 700 yards. No, I'm not doing 700 yards. 800 yards is the standard, okay? It's not the standard, but that means that he's had a statistically productive season, which would be a first damn step for a player last year who had 222 yards and as many catches as the number that he wears on his chest, which is 16. Show it to me, big fella. Eric Alonso says, pause. I say no pause. No, not really. No diddy. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So I am selling my Treylon Burks stock, but if he breaks 800 yards receiving, I'll buy the jersey. I'll wear the jersey. I'll give the jersey to one of you afterwards. Anyway, rising and falling. Let's wrap this bad boy up on this Wednesday night. Give me a person whose stock rose in sports, a team, a theme, whatever the case may be. Whose stock went up, whose stock went down. Rising and falling. We'll talk about it together right after I remind you that the Primetime Show is presented by the victorious Nashville Predators and their official real estate agent, Gary Ashton of the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. Game 6 for the Preds, Game 6 for the RE/MAX team. It's always the buying and selling process. That's why you don't sell without the intel that the Ashton team provides with that beautiful bald man right there, Gary Ashton of the Ashton Real Estate Group. Go to GaryAshton.com for more information. And also, congratulations to Gary. He's getting ready to get married soon. We're very happy for our guy. Anyway, whose stock rose, whose stock fell? My stock up is Cat Dads. I'm all in. Now, I don't know anything about wrestling. And frankly, I don't know anything about Steve Austin. Bert is somebody who knows wrestling. He can do all the impressions. He has a deep knowledge of all of these people, their backstories, their heel turns, and all of these other things. But Steve Austin is the person that I am saying stock up today, because Steve Austin is a cat dad, and we stand for cat dads around here.
Hey, what's up? It's Steve coming to the Broken Skull Ranch. I'm over here hanging out with Poncho, this little motherfucker. You gonna leave me again, you little fucker? Ponchy, come here. Poncho. God damn it. I've been holding that cat for 20 fucking minutes. And now break out the iPhone to make a video for Instagram, and he don't want no part of it. Pancho. God damn it. Pancho, don't leave me. That motherfucker's the best.
The cats are the best. Okay, I apologize. My mic was muted. That is just the embodiment of the cat dad experience. I am so pro Steve Austin being a cat dad. Cat dad, we stand. Poncho, we stand. I'm sitting here yelling for there's 3 of them in my damn house, and not one of them will come to the desk right now if I yell for them, even though they've been sitting here with me all day long since I came home from the walkthrough at the live show. Mooney! Moonbeam! Nothing. Not a damn thing. That's the experience as a cat dad, and you love them for it anyway. They don't listen. They don't pay attention. They don't even like you that much, but they still are the best part about your day. Brent says, are you serious, Buck? Yeah. What am I serious about? About being a cat dad? Hell yeah. There's 3 of them. There are 3. There's Moon, there's Francis, and there's Leo. That's the 3. Those are the people that run my house. A 3-bedroom house. There's more cats than there's as many cats as there are bedrooms at the house at this point. But yeah, I mean, Moon is basically Grace's at this point. So the other 2 are mine. But yeah, they don't listen. They don't listen to shit. So yeah, I'm serious, but they're still the best. Dogs stink. They're all in your stuff. They eat their own shit. It's a disaster. Cats are the GOAT. Steve Austin says so. So with that being said, we will end the show with Poncho and Steve.
Steve come to the Broken Skull Ranch. I'm over here hanging out with Pancho, this little motherfucker. You gonna leave me again, you little fucker? Panchy, come here. Pancho. God damn it. I've been holding that cat for 20 fucking minutes. And now, break out the iPhone to make a video for Instagram, and he don't want no part of it. Pancho. God damn it. Pancho, don't leave me.